Hello everyone and welcome to Packing Plays Hearts of Ironfall with the Kaiserreich mod. We are here with 0.8, the divided states. I've been waiting so long for this to come out, and like you had voted me to do, we'll be playing United States of America, going into the American Union state, meaning that when the election comes around, we'll have to be playing as Huey Long, the Long Boy. At the moment, we are Herbert Hoover. We had the Great Depression, political crisis, and legation cities dividends. How's that going for us? Starting off the game, first day, negative 318 political power. Lovely. There's the new American focus tree. It's all nice. Most of this, though, has to do with whether or not the Civil War is on, or whether the Civil War is over, whether the Civil War has been avoided, or Defend America, Civil War has begun. U.S. Air Force could be done, U.S. Navy could be done, the Monroe Doctrine has to be done after the Civil War is over or avoided. I could go this, but I am going to be fighting America, so I think it's best for us to avoid that altogether. Same thing with creating new troops. There is a new little helmet design. At least that might be new. It's been a while since I played Kaiserreich. New divisions and basic training. We're going to keep that way. Oddly enough, despite America's size, we only have 5 divisions. 3 of them infantry, 1 of them cavalry. The cavalry's not that big. The infantry division's just a 3 regiment, 3 battalions, and a single support artillery, not the biggest. And then the Panama Canal garrison, very small, single regiment, not all that good. Then in 0.8, so we got new Central American nations from Costa Rica, Nicaragua, Honduras, El Salvador, Guatemala. These used to be combined. We were going to get something for the West Indies Federation. You're new, mister. But that's going to be coming later. Mexico has almost certainly gotten something new, which makes America's much more fun to play after the El Condor Pasa and now the divided states. I think at the moment, in order to not make our enemy any stronger than it has to be, we're just going to avoid all military factory things except for a little bit of infantry equipment, because why not? Start there. No techs, no building up our dockyards, no focus tree stuff. But I will show off the new naval rework for Kaiserreich. We got destroyers that are all new, cruisers, armored cruisers, fast battleships, dreadnoughts, carriers, heavy carriers, and submarines. All kind of built on this idea that the naval game would be a little bit different if the Germans had won. So with that, we can just let the game go. Starting out, the United States in 1936. In 1936, the United States of America is gripping by unrelenting crisis, although able to avoid the horrors of the First Weltkrieg, which allowed the prosperity to continue well into the 1920s. German victory in the First Weltkrieg, followed by the French and British revolutions, led to the Wall Street crash of 1925. This sent the United States spiraling into the Great Depression and allowed the Berlin stock market to take its place in the forefront of the world economy. The election of Herbert Hoover in 1928, while initially promising, failed entirely to reverse the decline of the American economy. In 1936, the country has spent over a decade in the midst of the worst financial crisis it had ever seen. This fueled the rise of radical parties in America, from the far-left Socialist Party of America to the far-right America First Party. Hoover's continuous re-election by means of the House of Representatives in 1932 and the ongoing Great Depression means that these problems are unlikely to be resolved anytime soon. Many throughout the country feared the upheaval would result should one of the extreme parties come to power, or should the Depression continue unabated. God save America. Well, God's not going to save it, but maybe a certain long boy can. Assassination of Kerensky? How barbaric. We do have Liberia at the moment as a puppet. Although their units are decidedly dark in color. It's kind of almost comedic. Let's get Liberia. Liberia, come on. View? Yeah, look at those things. Look at their models. Oh, damn. It's like they just took the regular model and then they just shifted it to literally black in color. A little silly, because if anyone knows the history of Liberia and how it was Used as a place to send slaves, or former slaves after they had been freed. Afghanistan's doing their war. Black Monday. Profits of legation cities. Let the money flow through you. Legation cities. Hello there. Struggle for Shanghai, huh? Well, just keep giving me money and we won't have any problems, now will we? The coalition ticket, 1936. Election is looking to be one of the most contentious in American history. Many politicians within the upper circle of the Republican and Democratic parties fear that the victory of the Socialist Party of America or the America First Party would mean the end of America and the American way of life. Not if a long boy can help. In order to avoid this, a plan has been proposed with the halls of power to form a coalition ticket between the Republican and Democratic parties with the progressive Senator Floyd Olson of Minnesota as the presidential candidate. This plan is unlikely to be popular within low-ranking members of the parties, but it may be the only thing that prevent the radical parties from gaining strength. How about nah? Black Monday in America, just great. And the 5th Anglo-Afghani War. You guys have fun with that. I have a feeling it's not going to last too long, huh? Back in the world of Kaiserreich, I have missed this. Some early gains from Afghanistan, but this push up the center, it's probably not going to do them very well. A push right through there to Kabul. Progressive flock to the SPA. Minnesota, which has been a bastion of progressive Senator Floyd Olson, has finally flipped, and many they're turning to their Senator Olson towards the SPA. Various unions have held rallies for the SPA, and they have been larger than ever before. There goes that. Oh, a crime spree. As America spirals even deeper into chaos, there has been a wave of crime throughout the country. Many of these criminals are getting sensationalist news stories of their activities, especially the gangsters like John Dillinger and the scandalous Bonnie and Clyde. Thankfully, the Bureau of Investigation has been working hard for these criminals and bring some order back to America. Stop right there, criminal scum. You've broken the law. If I really wanted to cheese it, I would probably delete these units, disband the entire American Navy, but, I did that once before. We can just avoid that. Restoration of... Two things. Restoration of democracy in Australasia, good for them, and Gallo seized control in Ecuador. Okay, it seems like Quito's liberalism just couldn't last. An authoritarian democracy, interesting. An interesting ploy, let's see how it works. We'll just... Ooh, yeah, it's Soviet Russia. Hello there. You're not at war, though. Spoke too soon. And Georgia has joined the Proletarian Alliance. A balance of power has begun to shift, gaining the post-Weltkrieg order Germany's long struggle to build, brokering an alliance between these guys. These boys. So Georgia has entered an alliance with Russia. Or Soviet Russia. An interesting choice. Hey! A train! To anyone who is new to the channel, there is a train outside my house at all times. It sneaks up on me. Yeah, at least that was a fast one. St. Patrick's Day flood on the March 16, 1936. Warmer than usual temperatures led to the melting of large amounts of snow and ice in the upper Allegheny and Monongahela rivers. The rivers and the tributaries had already overflowed their banks and were soon threatening the city of Pittsburgh. On March 17, 1936, the waters reached the flood stage of 25 feet. Then overnight, heavy rain caused the water to rise even higher. On March 18th, the water peaked at about 46 feet, 21 feet above the flood stage. This is the worst such disaster in the city's history. The local authorities have already requested federal aid. We must help the people, or they must help themselves. Lower our stability as much as possible is lovely. Get mad. So then, Georgia, you have joined in the war against Russia. Good luck getting your troops over there. You got 4 to 6 units. Oh, is that the Mr. Stalin I see? Is that a weird Giggle? I don't know what Stalin's real name is. But, he looks familiar. Representative retiring. Tibet has joined the Great Khanate. Interesting. Many Republican and Democratic representatives have announced that this year that it will be the last year in Congress, an unprecedented rate on which retirement has given hope for the FAP and SPA to win these open elections. So, that loses seats for market liberals and liberals in general. Southern Democrat voters align with the AFP. Not dyslexic, I swear. The South has long been considered the heartland of the Democratic Party, but this may not be the case for much longer, as polls show a massive spike in voter registration for the AFP. I just realized that if I spell it the FAP, it spells FAP. Meh. On a radio broadcast, Huey Long spoke at length on the plans for America, and many tuned in to listen to him speak. It seems that the AFP is growing stronger by the day. Hooray, boys, for the red, white, and blue. Yes. Our power grows. I like that the America First Party encapsulates both authoritarian democracies, paternal autocrats, and national populists. The night of the 36th Stanley Cup, who shall win? Who knows? You decide. The Detroit Red Wings win the Stanley Cup. Good for them. Hockey Town. Woohoo! What is that? Keep going. Liberia, you're not doing anything too crazy over there now, right? I hope not. So Tibet is a part of paramilitary militias forming. With violence and instability sweeping the country, the AFP and the SPA have begun to form various paramilitary militias, which they claim are necessary to protect the people. Seen patrolling their strongholds and party rallies, these well-armed and equipped paramilitary units have already engaged in scattering through extremely violent conflicts. They could turn very bad very fast. This ain't good. I wonder how Russia's doing. General Autocrat, okay. Lav Korniliev. More SPA. Okay, good for you, Mongolia. Announcing congressional bids. Rise of Totalists and others. So, we got Sternberg over there. Panama pressures Costa Rica. The Panamanians have begun a small-scale military assault on the Coto region of Costa Rica, which they claim on for some time. We should threaten an intervention to prevent these turning to a full-scale war. Let us intervene. So that would be this region? The Coto Bruce. Alright. Let's hope they just stop it. Najd has taken over Jabal Shamar, which means we're going to have a Saudi Arabia, like normal. Oh, Najd. Pedro Pablo Ramirez restores order in Argentina. Good for you. Good for you. Saudi Arabia is here. Time to make some oil. The May Day riots. May Day, International Workers' Day. This is a holiday that the Socialist Party celebrates with numerous parades and speeches, and it's since its founding. Generally, things are peaceful, though there have been confrontations with the police. However, this time, things are more violent than normal. Clashes between the Socialists and the local police, backed by the AFP, have occurred around the country. The question is, who is at fault? The Socialists declared that things were peaceful until the police and the AFP goons arrived on the scene, while the AFP is saying that the Socialists were deliberately looking to cause trouble and violence, and they were defending themselves. Clearly, the SPA were at fault. Radical Socialists and National Populists, or Totalists. So it really doesn't depend which one I get. But obviously the SPA were at fault. Obviously. Couldn't possibly have been the FAP. It couldn't possibly be FAP. Huey Long speaks. Ooh, then I better speak for him. The Democratic Party and the Republican Party were just like the old patent medicine drummer that used to come around our country. He had 2 bottles of medicine. He'd play the banjo, and he'd sell 2 bottles of medicine. One of those bottles was medicine he called high populorum, and the other one of those bottles of medicine he called low populorum. Finally, somebody said, is there any difference between these bottles of medicines? He said, oh, considerably. They're both good, but they're different, he said. That high popularum is made off the bark of a tree that we take from the top down, and that low populorum, I don't know how to pronounce it, is made from the bark that we take from the root up. And the only difference that I found between the Democratic leadership and the Republican leadership is that one of them was skinning you from the ankle up, and the other from the ear down. When I got to Congress, 3 cheers for the Kingfish. Yes, the Kingfisher shall rise. He shall lead this nation to greatness. Back to world politics. Hey, Russia, what's he up to? One day I shall return to the glorious fields of Russia and enact vengeance for the Tsar, but not today. Not this day. Then we got... I swear this guy looks like Stalin, but I cannot be sure. Electoral gridlock in Britain. Coup d'etat in Siam. Nice, nice. Coming to France was no Mosley, but Tom Mann is still pretty good. FVP members announcing congressional bids. Nice. Red summer. The summer heat has turned into violence and blood as cities started with Charleston, South Carolina. Through the country engaged in bloody racial riots as whites beat up blacks and burned black businesses. The number of lynchings that occurred throughout the country spiked during the summer. In response, the African Blood Brotherhood, the other ends of the SAP and the CSA, have begun arming and fighting back. Both are far-left Socialist Party of America. Both the far-left Socialist Party of America and the far-right America First Party blame each other as the source of the issue. Can this year get any worse? Violence against politicians. Sometime the violence has been mostly between the supporters of the various parties. However, recently the violence is now reaching the candidates and politicians themselves. Attempts on the lives of both Huey Long and Jack Reed have occurred, although both failed. Several more local politicians, have been stabbed during a campaign rally. Moreover, many of both extremes are turning a blind eye to the violence done to their enemies. Great, more violence. The death of Big Bill Haywood in another train? Are we going to be a 2-train episode today? Today, one of the titans of industrial workers of the world, William Big Bill Hayward, has passed away. His death marks the passing of the torch. Elizabeth Furley Flynn spoke at the funeral, saying, "History is a long-range perspective. It ultimately passes stern judgment on tyrants and vindicates those who fought, suffered, were imprisoned, and listened to a train in the distance, and died for human freedom, against political oppression and economic slavery." Many other leaders on various union organizations, include for rivals of the AFL, who spoke at the funeral, as well as leaders of the Socialist Party of America. Jack Reed also spoke at the funeral, ending his speech with some of Hayward's quotes. "If the workers are organized, all they have to do is to put their hands in their pockets, and they have got the capitalist class whipped. A strike in the incipient revolution... a strike is an incipient revolution. Many large revolutions have grown out of a small strike. Remember that you are fighting more than just your own fight. We are fighting the entire working class, and we must stand together." The passing of the torch. Dang Cindy's. Always passing torches and not dying like they should. Britain within the international. I'm really in... Oh, the Great Heatwave of 36. More reading. Heatwave has struck the continental United States and Canada, the most severe heatwave in the modern history of North America. The Great Heatwave, started in late June and went up to 100 degrees Fahrenheit as drought conditions worsened due to the continued lack of rain. Now in July, the heat has reached all-time records. In Steele, North Dakota, temperatures have reached 121 degrees Fahrenheit. In Ohio, temperatures have reached 110 Fahrenheit, which was close to trying the record high set in 1934. This comes in a time of major political unrest in the America First Council, with the America First Council, a major force in the Midwest politics. The socialist and syndicalist forces gathering strength in the Great Lakes region. The drought has continued, over 3,000 reported deaths and linked to it. Many people are suffering from the heat stroke and great exhaustion. Farmers across the continent saw the worst harvest on record, causing corn and wheat prices to skyrocket. Now, this heat wave has not seemed to be giving up anytime soon. This is just our year, isn't it? Yes, don't you worry. Just gotta keep Georgia up for some reason. Proletarian alliance. So if Soviet Russia loses, would Georgia just give up, or... I do not know. I'm increasing reactivization. You don't say. I know that there is one part of Hoi 4 where if you don't ever... the fall of Moscow. If you never actually end up fighting one particular nation, then you can end up in a situation where you physically cannot take anything from them because you never fought them. Even though you're at war with them, the fact that you never sent troops to their lands, yours and their troops never fought, means you just can't take anything in the land. That might happen with Georgia, although, yeah, Beria is now here. Past that, I do not know what'll happen. I'm assuming that you have enough... It depends on whether or not they can go through these straits. Or if they could go through, like, the Don-Kuban Union or Kingdom of Ukraine. Somehow just get their troops over there. If anything, it might have been easier just to stay the way you are, but I do not know if you're fighting. Let's go check out the wars. Gone with the Wind. Okay, good for you. Current wars, Second Russian Civil War. You, yeah, 0 losses, meaning they have not fought at all. The Zybe-Mongolian War. Ooh, are we going to see a game where Mongolia loses? That would be interesting. I don't know if the Ma-Click has anything. Yeah, Ma-Click has not really done anything because we're not in the China patch yet. Now are we, boys? Now are we? One day my Huey Long will come. One day. But until then, I'm going to have to cut the video here. It's been 20 minutes. So thank you for watching. I'll see you guys next episode. I have no idea whether or not it's going to be in the next episode or the episode after that. But we'll be getting there pretty quickly. So, thank you for that. See you guys in the next episode. Bye-bye!